Alright guys, TacticalRab again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day so far. It was all going on in the CDL last night. Shotzzy with a few thoughts on his close rivals, but OpTic believing they are simply a level above all of their close competition right now. But what about what was going on in challenges? So much drama from top to bottom on that side yesterday. Bush Gaming get the victory at the end of the day in dramatic circumstances. Lots of talking points to get into here. Great for the scene. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. We're going to start with a few different things because it was all going on in challenge yesterday, as I say. There was also this talking point here. So this Unity Visual team, they're going to get their APAC team out there to Dallas for the first major at the end of January and looking to play in the Challengers tournament. But it seems like they've booked their flights and they've got everything sorted. They've spent thousands of dollars on making this happen. And, well, the team passes are just sold out. So hopefully they can find a way. I'm sure there'll be a way for them to get a team pass. And, well, hopefully that resolves in a good way. Now, the main drama of challenges before we get to North America was actually happening in Europe yesterday. So, look, a lot was happening here, and I find this kind of frustrating because for the European players, we know that it's challenging for them to get into the CDL, more challenging than from the States because you've got to get visas, that takes time. Often once the season is underway, your chances of getting signed are pretty slim, right? For Afro, he made it work this year going to C9, but, you know, he spent the whole of last year sitting on the sideline despite looking really good. And he spent the whole of last year in challenges when he could well have been in the Pro League. So with all that in mind, the eyes, the exposure on the scene from Europe is pretty much more important than ever, right? Like, it's more challenging than from in America to get spots in the Pro League. So if you want eyes on your gameplay to get spotted, that is probably more important than even it is in the States, although it's very important over there as well. Now, Bance was trying his best to codcast this, watch some of the games, showcase a lot of this stuff on the stream, but he had to call it off at some point because he got kicked out. Now, okay, effectively what was going on here, and Linz shares his opinion in the replies, because, well, Bance was, well, exposing some of the French teams for snaking, and I don't know, he was looking at a few things. I don't know if they were so happy about it, and Linz says, Bance is sharing his screen for Beans, who is in TeamSpeak with the team that we're playing against, but sure, I'm a clown, and I'll let them do that. Bance is like, well, he's not in the TeamSpeak at all. You hear us casting the whole map. What are you talking about? So, there's always two sides to these stories, but usually, and this is part of it again, the challengers teams are like, oh no, don't stream our matches because the other teams are going to see our strats, like our special, secret, super high-level strats that they've come up with in challenges that, you know, it's just, that always makes me laugh, that argument, right? Because you've got the pro teams, and look, the pro teams don't stream their practice for this reason, sure, but all of their matches in the Pro League are live streams. You can see everything. So you can find out what they're doing. You know, in challenges, it's just not the same level. And the players that do this and have this opinion, I just think they've got no hope. Like, they've got no dog. They've got no chance to make it again because, you know, if you had the confidence in yourself and your team, you wouldn't care, right? Like, that's Shotzzy's perspective. Even in the Pro League, or the best team in the game, Shotzzy's like, look, I don't care, I'll stream our practice because you can't do what we do anyway. So there's that whole argument. But the other thing was that the teams were, I think, kind of paranoid about those that were watching their streams and codcasting their games, kind of leaking stuff and exposing stuff elsewhere. Josh said, a team told me I can't watch party the finals of the EU 2K with Bance because I might tell the other team where they are, even though I'm live on stream myself. So pretty much the teams are saying, no, you can't do that because you might, I don't know, tell the other team what we're doing. Which again is like, look, fine, if you want to shut down streams for these reasons and you've got some theory as to what the guy in the lobby is going to do, I mean, look, sure, but then don't complain when the scene is cooked and you get no opportunities because nothing's getting streamed. So it is what it is. There's a big thread as well here, because the boys at Breaking Point were trying to cover this and talk about the tournament, and, well, that never happened because we kept getting kicked out of the lobbies, basically. The teams were just refusing to have codcasters so we couldn't get player stats. Anyway, Vortex had a bit of a back and forth here for a little while. You guys can read through this at your leisure if you would like to, but the bottom line is, it's challenges. There was some drama. Who is shocked? Now, this continued in the Americas as well, and, well, let's talk about this team because we've got Bush Gaming. They get the dub against Port Eric Boom. Now, the there's a bit of drama here because there were some theories that Eric Boom and his team were hitting the Bush boys offline and giving them bad internet and all of this stuff. Eric responded and was like, look, I don't understand the hate, putting all the blame of what was happening on me. Nothing against the players. We play our next match for top 6 against Next Threat soon, which is Doug's team. So, look, I don't think he was actually booting, right? And I think people were generally joking here, but there was a little bit of drama about it regardless. Now, Fellow was also saying a similar thing. Nobody on your team is hitting you offline, or nobody on our team is hitting you offline, especially Eric out of all people. Let's be for real. And Jersey Jerry, who has definitely been a character with his forays into challenges so far, hold that L and keep it moving. Hashtag Bush Push. Now, here he is again. A couple of clips I gotta share here because this is just brilliant for the scene, right? We've talked for a long time now that Challenges is probably in the best position that it's ever been. Could it still be better? Look, there's other things that I think they could do. But it's in a great spot for Black Ops 7. We've got the Huntsmen are in. OpTic actually have a team. We've got tons of Challenges tournaments. Load of players coming back. We've got Halo players coming in. Doug's still playing the game. And we've got the Barstool guys. Think whatever you want about Barstool. But look, they're definitely bringing some eyes and some exposure to the Challenges scene right now. They had tons of viewers on their watch party last night. I think it was like easily 10k viewers, something like that. Now, this I thought was funny because Daniel Say doesn't really run the show at Challenges, but fundamentally he is still responsible for, as the commissioner, for everything that happens under the CDL banner. And they were, well, had a bit of drama with players getting iced because they were just delaying the games. Now, this is a very common thing that happens in Challenges. People are playing multiple tournaments. In this case, the guys that Bush Gaming were set to play were playing a LAN event at the same time. So, you know, in theory, they should be able to forfeit them, no, and just be like, well, hang on a second, we're trying to play this cup. You guys are literally on a LAN playing a match right now. That's why everything's getting delayed. And I think possibly they could. I know that often the players, they don't like to forfeit. They'll just take the delay because, you know, they don't want to get like bad juju or whatever, or like it's the same thing is going to happen to them at some point because they kind of all do it, really. It's kind of a plague in some sense. But Jersey Jerry was not very happy about it. He calls out Daniel saying, was like, look, we've got to lock this down. As I say, I'll share a couple of clips here in a second. And then Daniel responds and says, totally agree, the bracket shouldn't be getting held up if players are off playing other tournaments. Obvious forfeit. Dug into this with the admin team because they, of course, call the shots, right? It's not Daniel Say, it's the FaZe administrators. The tournament has been moving along on schedule. We definitely won't hold up the game start. So anyway, that was all resolved. And at the end of the championship, it was Bush Gaming that take the W.
Daniel to say, Jersey Jerry here. I'm with the Bush squad. You got players playing in different LAN tournaments. My guys aren't going to be iced, okay? My guys ain't waiting 5 hours for these other 2 players that are playing in a different tournament to finish just to play us. They got to forfeit. It's either a forfeit or we're going to riot. It's very simple. Very simple. Get Challengers intel on the horn too, Mook. We're not going to stand for this, okay? This is a real tournament, Challengers Cup. Challengers Cup for a reason. Why are guys playing in different LANs? It makes 0 sense. What kind of rinky-dink program are we running here? Okay? Fix it. These guys got to hop out that LAN and come back to the Challengers Cup. It's very simple.
Be on top of it. Like, if players and teams aren't showing up, they get a 15-minute timer. If they're not in the lobby, they forfeit, period. Right? Like,
I think that's what the rules state.
So what the fuck's going on? Who's the admin? Is there an admin or something? Like, what's going on?
Section 3.2 in the rule book. That's what it says. 15 minutes.
Oh, we got the rule book and everything. I love it.
15 minutes. That's what it says.
Hey, I don't know. Hey, Donnie, is there an admin? Like, what are you guys playing on?
Great kill.
One more.
Oh my god!
Oh,
yes, DJ!
Holy shit! Clip it! Clip it!
Flip it!
Oh, slow play is great, bro. Let's push
Quick.
Nice. Good work, boys.
Oh!
That was filthy, bro.
I'm trying to stay up.
Yo, I'll be back there.
Not challenge.
I'll be back there. At the wrap.
Yo, back.
I'm gonna stay on top. Dude, back right to alley. Back right alley. Hold. Oh my god, split.
Oh my god.
Good shit.
Oh
my god.
Oh my god!
He's going
God!
nuts! Holy shit!
Holy
Holy
fuck.
fuck.
I just used my pants.
That was nuts.
One's absolutely back. Good again, good again, good again.
New shot.
Nice! Nice! Let's go! Holy shit!
Fucking go, dude. Let's fucking go.
Bomb going down.
We're
planning.
Come on. Find a kill.
4v2.
3v2.
3v2.
3v1.
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 Come on. You got this is it. This is it.
I think you saw him. Never mind. I didn't see him.
I have this one now.
You have it? On shoulder bomb him.
Come on, Spart. I trust Spart with my life. I trust Spart with my life.
Trust both guys. Come on.
Trust both.
Just don't peek, just don't peek. Tap flanking, tap flanking. He did not go, he did not.
Spartan cap.
No, I'm just learning. Come on, baby. Let's fucking go, man. Come on.
Let's fucking go!
Fucking bounce on it, Jerry. Bounce on it.
Come on!
Woo!
Fuck!
Bounce and finish!
That was fucking electric! That's it! Let's go!
Let's go! Come on! Come on! Come on, dude! Come the fuck on!
Let's go!
Go, dude! Let's go!
That's what we fucking do!
Yeah! Oh my god, Jerry! Oh my god, Jerry! Oh my god!
No!
Oh my god, Jerry! Oh my god,
Bounce,
Jerry!
baby, bounce!
Let's fucking go, dude! Come on!
Let's go.
Good. We'll get away. We'll get
Some
away.
practice. Is there anybody you feel like on your guys' level as it stands right now?
I mean, the top 3 teams, we've scrimmed them, and I mean, we play really, really good against the top 3 teams. They've, at moments, battled back, but for the most part, like, we're pretty dominant on all modes, to be honest. But I mean, any given day, I mean, you know how it is.
So,
it's just
For
whatever
clarity,
feels
who are
like.
those top 3 teams outside of OpTic right now?
Just FaZe, Thieves, and Paris.
Final stats for the Grand Final Series. Telluride Bush Gaming take down Cabal Gaming 4-1 in the end. And, well, Cap had a 1.4. TJ had a really good tournament as well. I know he had the lowest KD in the finals, but, you know, he had a really good tournament as well. Great result. Fantastic for the scene. Cracking entertainment as always. The other clip, of course, that I also wanted to discuss was what Shotzzy had to say about the OpTic guys, where they currently are. Because, as Dashy says, GG's to G2, 1-3-1, back in the lab. I think there's a tweet from Huke as well I wanted to share, just because I thought this was funny. This is all Huke tweets. He's so locked in, man. He doesn't do emojis. He doesn't do exclamation marks. It's just GG's to G2. What was it the other day? GG's to Falcons. GG's to G2. So we're going to see more of these tweets, I'm sure, over the coming days. His timeline is probably going to look a lot like this by the time we get to Major 1. But yeah, Dashy says, back to the lab, right? Of course, there's always things to work on. They lost the game 1 in the series, but still a 6-0 or 6-1 opening weekends against Falcons. They played first and then G2. It's obviously a solid start for OpTic. We talked about the series in length last night. Some of the plays that Mercules and then Dashy on the final map were pulling off for sure. But Shotzzy in the post-game interview had a few words on his rivals, as we saw, talking about the other teams, the top 3 teams. So yeah, they consider the top 3 teams to be Paris, FaZe, and Thieves, right? Of course, on paper, that was always going to be true, I think. There was some talk about Toronto, and I don't think they're far away. Heretics don't look quite the same this year. Maybe they will get there, but right now they don't seem to be at that level yet, which is probably not much of a surprise. They also weren't fantastic at the start of last season, Heretics. They brought in Super that then turned around. So, look, maybe give Heretics a couple of months. But for now, those are considered to be the top 4 teams. Of course, there were questions on FaZe and on Thieves, but after FaZe beat Paris yesterday, I think it's all to play for at the top of the league. But Shotzzy's pretty clear that OpTic, in their opinion at least, are a level above in all the game modes. They can be competitive with those 3 teams, but OpTic think they're a level above. And look, I think Overload especially, the way that they played against G2 yesterday was just kind of different to the way that we've seen other teams play. I think teams will get there, but right now OpTic in that mode are going to be pretty hard to beat. I think Shotzzy's a key part of that. Their search and destroy looks pretty solid as well. It has done so far in this game. Mercules, as always, has been a key component of that. Hardpoint is the game mode that is practiced the most. It's also the game mode that the teams know and are very familiar with. So I think if there's any game mode where OpTic are slightly more vulnerable, it might be that one. But Shotzzy reckons that we're pretty dominant for now. So we'll see what happens. Let's not forget, this time last year, pretty much to the day near enough, was all the big pred drama and the development with Huke coming in and all of that. And OpTic went on to be the #1 seed for the first major, but the major tournaments themselves, as we know, did not go to plan until they brought Mercules into the lineup. So very much intrigued to your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comments below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.